Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. The cross-examination of Cassie Ventura is getting out of control. Chris Brown has been detained until June overseas for cracking somebody in the head with a bottle. The link is in the description. If you want to come in, be respectable, no cursing and no N-words, definitely no F-words. But we're going to sit here and we're going to listen to Jesse Weber and them. They in the courtroom, so they're going to let you know what's happening right now in the courtroom in real life time. All right? All right, you know what it is. We're going to bring it in here. We got Cassie, and I just want to show you some different pictures of Cassie. Keep it moving, you know. But now, let's hear what's going on right now in the courtroom as we speak. The phone lines will be open in a minute, but let's catch what's going on right now in the courtroom. All right, see how nice my joint look? I want to thank everybody that donated to the page. I got 5K crystal. Vision. That's why it looks so glowing. Thank you.
I want to make sure that we get to you quick. I know you have to jump back into the courtroom. Interesting day of cross-examination. What is the mood in the courtroom? And what is the theme of the cross-examination today?
Well, the mood in the courtroom was definitely seeing where this cross-examination would essentially go to, especially after yesterday. There were a lot of kind of comments yesterday just about how Estevao was asking the line of questioning. She seemed kind of frantic. She seemed kind of like she didn't know how to ask the next question. She's over kind of conferring with her other counsel who's at the defense table, kind of wanting to know and insinuate what is going to be happening next. A lot of the conversation, especially towards the beginning today, was just about the Intercontinental Hotel back in 2016. The defense asked Cassie, you said Diddy blacked out during this incident, and Cassie wrote in a message, she said, when you get effed up the wrong way, you always want to show me that you have the power to knock me around like a rag doll. And the defense was kind of insinuating that during this moment, during this incident that happened in 2016, something that a lot of us saw on that surveillance video, they were kind of making it seem that Diddy was having a bad reaction to drugs, having a bad reaction to mixing it with alcohol, because even yesterday when they were cross-examining Cassie, they were talking about how he might have taken a bad batch of drugs during this incident. And even days prior to it, he might have been experiencing drug withdrawals during this incident. Again, trying to make it seem like this was the reason why he had attacked her on that surveillance video. Then they go back.
All right. So what I'm getting so far, right? I'm just breaking it down from a hood point of view. Let's ride. What I'm getting so far, and I want y'all to picture this, right? It's like two rock and roll stars, but instead of white, they're black. So, remember back in the 70s when you had it in, Mick Jagger and them was doing all that they were showing. Diddy is the modern day Mick Jagger for our time. He's the ultimate rock and roller for our time. Whether the rat bastards want to admit it or not, he took it to the next level with the partying, which is the ultimate level that landed him in federal court. So we know that he was dead wrong because he broke the law, allegedly, for the crimes that he's saying. But now they're charging him for RICO, but the whole trial, the whole testimony is beginning on Cassie speaking on what her and him collectively did, like her hiding her identity, wearing wigs, he's wearing masks. They're in cahoots. So she's really a co-defendant. But this is a co-defendant that has flipped and now is testifying against her partner in crime. They had these freak-offs, and these freak-offs now we know is a crime. So now they let Cassie know, right? And the crazy part is, right, can we really ride? I feel like riding. We might not even get to Jesse Weber today. I feel like riding, so y'all better tune in because you're going to tap into my mind right now. It's like Cassie right now is trying to figure out how to get out of this situation that she found herself in from her choices. Because we know that if someone commits a crime at 21, they're an adult, they're considered adult, and they're tried and sentenced as an adult. But if someone becomes a victim of a crime, now they become a minor at 21. So that's what I see that's happening right here, right? But it's like Cassie tried to get with the rock and roll lifestyle program, enjoyed it while it was rocking and rolling, and the two of them wound up getting hooked on drugs. And he had so much money that they could do all the drugs they want. And that's something that I want to give you all a jewel on, right? Because I remember like Michael Jackson. Everybody would say, oh, Michael Jackson's a drug addict. He's a drug addict. You know what I mean? I said, nah, he's not a drug addict. They said, well, he's addicted to drugs. I'm like, no. Being addicted, right, in the street is when you have to do immoral things to get it, break the law to get it, or you just plain old can't afford it. If you could afford it, it becomes leisurely. If you want a car and you go steal a car to go get it, you broke the law. You know what I mean? Now you're a thief, But if you want a car and you got the cash and you buy it and keep moving on with your lifestyle that nothing happened, now you're not a thief. You see where I'm going at with this? I know some do and some don't, but I'm just tapping into your mind right now. Let's get back to this, and I'm going to get back to Cassie and Diddy in a minute.
Back to 2016, that same year where the defense is asking, did Diddy accuse Cassie of cheating on him with some unnamed football player? Cassie wasn't sure how Diddy had learned of this. Cassie said she was dating someone else, but not sure how he found out. Diddy grabbed her phone, took off, and left without her phone. Her mom actually had to call the cops, essentially, to get her phone back.
Whoa, did I just hear them say her mom called to get the phone back? Why didn't her mom get her out of this situation? Why didn't her mom attempt to get out of the situation? Are we going to hear testimony about her mom attempting to get out of this situation? She calls her mom when he take the phone. But she don't call her mom when he allegedly asks her. She don't call her mom when he forces her to do a freak off she don't want to do. But do you see where I'm at with this? They just said her mother was in the picture. Tell me, anybody watching this, put in the comments right now and tell me if you knew or even thought that her mama was in the picture. Because that's what I was wondering. Like, where's the adults in her life? Let's keep it moving.
Diddy spoke with someone on her phone while he had taken her phone away from her. And that was kind of the crux of that phone conversation. Then Cassie was asked, how many times did Diddy take your phone away from you? And she said, he did do this often, as well as take other things from her, lock her outside of her home, take her car away, that type of thing, something that she had even answered to under the direct examination. Then there was another point where the defense was trying to say, did Diddy take your phone away after he caught you dancing? This in 2013. Cassie says she doesn't necessarily remember this situation because possibly to her, this is something that just happens so often. Then I think, Jesse, one of the more interesting points that had happened today was we heard this audio recording of Cassie back in 2014 as she was confronting this man named Sujit. Sujit had told Cassie in Atlantic City that he had seen a video of her, an sexually explicit video of her, and Cassie wanted to know where this video came from. How did it come into his possession? Because she had assumed that this was a freak-off video of her that was about to get leaked. And so we hear her in this audio confronting Sujit, and kind of, I think the point that the defense was trying to make was just that Cassie would commit violence. She said things along the lines of asking repeatedly, can I see this video? It's not me touching myself because you said someone else was inside that room. Sujit said that he had this video clip on his phone. You can hear Cassie saying, I will kill you. I will kill you. I will put you in a desert. I will cut you. She kept saying, I will kill you because you're effing with my life. And Cassie at one point in this audio clip said she'll get someone else actually to do it, and said that this SHIT is not cool. And, you know, I think essentially the defense was trying to point out, because this was something under her direct examination, that she was talking about how Diddy security guards entered a conversation and they all had a sit-down meeting at a restaurant to obtain this video back. But from the defense's perspective, they're trying to essentially insinuate that Cassie was threatening to kill. And look, we've all been there, right? Where, you know.
Bottom line is the defense is insinuating that Cassie is just as gangster and culpable as P. Diddy. That's what I see is going on right here. You know what I mean? That's what I see that's going on. Now, right? Y'all tell me how a co-defendant could become a victim. She's threatening to kill for this tape from a freak off that she willingly did. And then you're going to hear her say that she said, nah, we're not going to use them anymore, but we're going to continue to find someone else to use to continue our freak offs. You paying attention to where I'm at with this, y'all? Let's keep it moving, man. All right, let's go.
Now, I could have a bad day and say I will kill. Actually, let me just kind of take that back a little bit, because I don't want this to be used against me or anything like that. But, you know, there have been points where I think anybody can argue that we have all said at one point that, oh, I'm going to kill you, because that's how mad we get at another point. Another interesting moment that was discussed during this morning's testimony was Jonathan Auty. And we all know Jonathan Auty very well here at Law and Crime, especially you, Jesse, because you've covered him a number of times on Sidebar. Cassie was saying that Jonathan had taken a secret video of Cassie and Diddy during a freak off, and Diddy tried to make this video go away. That Diddy spent actually a significant amount of money to make sure that this video didn't get released. And even after Auty had taken this video during this freak off, Cassie had admitted that they never used Auty ever again during one of their freak offs. She said that.
Did you hear that? They never used Auty again after one of their freak offs, because Auty violated the code of the freak offs by threatening to put the tapes out. Does this sound like a co-defendant, a victim, or a culprit? Somebody put it in the comments. Because, I mean, I don't know, man. You know, yo, the link is in the top of the bio if anybody want to join in and voice their opinion. You know what I mean? I'm going to turn the phone lines on in a minute. But, yo, let's get this thing popping.
She was pretty concerned about the situation, concerned that Jonathan Auty would release this video. There was even a point that they had discussed today just about Garrett and Cowboys for Angels, an escort service that they had used often to kind of get escorts to their freak offs, and that they actually had a reality show on Showtime about this called presumably Gigolos or something along those lines of that, and that some of the contestants on this show were some of the escorts used in these freak offs. And
pause. So you telling me that Diddy got these dudes, these participants from the freak off, their own gig on a reality show? And I know Diddy from way back in the 80s. I did 26 years, stood tall, come home, chicken did nothing for me. And that's why I don't understand how anybody can say, oh, he's defending Diddy, he's defending Diddy. No, I'm defending us, because if they get away with this, this could be anyone sitting there. How many of y'all watching this now, male and female, has flown across state lines to go get with someone? That's considered sex trafficking, the way they're interpreting it with Diddy. Just breaking down the law so you understand, so you know, don't do it. Follow the rules. Don't be ignorant to the law and then say, I didn't know. Baltimore in the house. Big Eric, what up? You know, let's keep this moving.
You know, I could tell just being inside that courtroom today that there were some moments of just, I don't know if it was embarrassment or nerves or just kind of like, where is this going? Why are we talking about this? Especially as the defense was asking her about her rehab stint in 2023, where they were asking.
What does any of this have to do with a RICO? Somebody put in the comments, what does this have to do with a RICO, all this freaking off going on? Is this what you expected to see for a trial when you heard that they finally got Diddy, when all the women's panties was in a bunch? And don't forget the rat Bastards' panties was also in a double bunch. You know what I mean? Because they more feminine than the females. You know? Now, let's keep this moving.
Asking her what type of treatment did you go for? Were you going just for depression, or were you going for sex addiction and love addiction? They were talking about how she did treatment therapy where she had hooked up pretty much wires to her brains just to kind of help her go through trauma therapy, and how she was recounting her memories. And I could tell that that was kind of a hard point for her to talk about. One, because it was so recent. I mean, 2023 was just a couple years ago, and this was months before she had filed her lawsuit. And so I could tell during those moments that a lot of us were kind of like, where is this going, and why are they getting so personal, asking her about her time during rehab, especially because it was kind of like, is this even necessary for them to talk about? And I'm again not in the jurors' minds, but
Yeah.
I was wondering if there was a little bit confusion on their end of what they were listening to, essentially, because in 2023 she was no longer with Diddy. She was married to her now husband. She had already had children. So we were kind of like, what does this have to actually do with her direct testimony at hand? And so, from what I could see of Cassie, she still has remained just like she has been the first few days of her testimony, remaining calm, cool, and collective. She, there were points you could tell where she just didn't want to recount these moments. One interesting point that she had said today is that she doesn't even hate Diddy. She said that she had love for the time that they had prior to that, but she admitted today during the cross-examination that she doesn't really hate him. And so,
Pause. This is the way I hear it, right? I'm just saying, this is the way I hear it. Here it is, a young lady. She's saying that she still loves Diddy. We know Diddy still loves her. Diddy beat the trial. Diddy gets with her. She was a little angry because, Young M.A. came in the picture, which was truly a young thing at that time when Cassius became an old thing to Diddy. Because she was pushing 30. She older Diddy. You know what I mean? So now, Cassie really loved him for the time that she was together. But when he chose Young Miami, and he pushed past her to get with her, and she went and double-crossed Diddy with the trainer, and the trainer used her for her vulnerable moment that they was going through it. And then now she's sitting here, she got $20 million. And internet went crazy saying she got 100 million. Even my dumb black ass said she got between 30 and 100 million. You know what I mean? But she ain't get that. But that's what even my dumb ass said. Because that's how the internet is. Now we found out she asked for 30. He settled overnight. Said, you dropping 10 million, take the 20. Go ahead. I would have gave you the 20 million anyway because the head was good. The freak off was good. We could continue to have freak offs. Whether you tell your husband or you don't tell your husband, that'll be our little secret. Diddy would have gave her the 20 million to keep in the stash for the freak offs, because that's the way it go when you get in the bag. You already know you got to pay for expensive toys the same way you want to go buy a $20 million yacht. What did Diddy buy? A $68 million yacht. So why he wouldn't buy a $20 million Cassie? Somebody explain that. He bought a $68 million yacht. Then he buys a $20 million Cassie. And then when he gets locked up, he offers to pay 50 million, 48 million. He didn't even go the whole 50 million for his freedom. The government said, how could you disrespect me like that? You spend 68 million on the yacht, 20 million on Cassie, and you offer us a lousy 48 million for your freedom? Man, sit your black ass in jail because you don't understand how this thing go. You know what I mean? So this is where we at right now. Do y'all agree with that, disagree with that, or did I sum that up well enough so y'all understand? She thought she going to go away with the trainer and live happily ever after. Then when she got away with the trainer, they started having little financial issues, and then they sat down, they put their head together, and then they came up with a plan and said, all right, this is what we're going to do. Go to Diddy, tell Diddy that you're going to release this tell-all book that your mama been pushing you to write. The same mama that didn't push you to get out the relationship, but she put you to write a book about the abusive relationship. Yeah, that mama. But that's where we at. I'm just keeping it 100. So, if you can't take the real, I'm going to give you 3 seconds to tap out. All right, now get out of here. Bro, we giving it to you real here. She called mama when Diddy took the phone. You understand what I'm saying? Mama was there. She called mama, and mama said, write a tell-all book about it. But stay with it to get more information for the book, allegedly. You see what I'm saying? This is the way I'm hearing it. You know what I mean? Because I'm from the street. So, game recognized game. You understand what I'm saying? Now, he's sitting back, and Cassie says, I'm going to write a book, and you better give me 30 million, or I ain't going to do that. And All she had to do was go to Diddy and say, yo, let's have a freak off. I need 10 million. You know, me and Alex in financial trouble. Diddy would have gave her the 10 million. Because she was the ultimate freak off. She was she's the what they call it, the bottom bitch of the freak offs. So he would have gave her that. Does anybody understand the words that come out of my mouth? You know, like Jackie Chan said with Chris Rock. Y'all understand the words coming out of my mouth? I'm just giving it to a real raw now. All Cassie had to do was go to Diddy and said, yo, check it out, man. This is what it is. Yo, me and Alex, you know, we messed up. You already chose, you know, the youngin'. You know what I mean? Young Miami, you know, and if you ever want, I'll be willing to get with her too. But right now we need a little help. You know, throw us a little 20 million, you know, and I'll go with you on that $60 million yacht for a weekend or a week. You know what I mean? And tell Alex I'm with my mother, the same one that pushed me to write the book, that I'm getting the information to write the book. You understand what I'm saying? Mom's pushed her to write a book. And this went on for over a decade. And mom said, don't get out of it. Write the book. Don't get out of it. Write the book. I know y'all ain't even thinking that, but I'm just giving you the real come from the street and game recognized real. Yo, mama raised her to do what she needed to do. She did what she had to do. Said 19. When they knew that she was getting with, take Puffy out of it, 30-something-year-old man, because Diddy was 30-something years old. Everybody, oh, he's with a 19-year-old girl. Diddy 30-something years old. The 19-year-old girl go home, right, baby, whatever you want to call it, go and say, Mom, I met a dude that's 39 years old. Say, girl, you better not talk to a dude that old, but it's Puff Daddy. Oh, girl, you better write a book. You know what I mean? You better buy the book. You know, yo, I'm telling you, I can just hear this, man, because I mean, I've seen this 100 times in the project. You know what I mean? And you don't have to be in the projects to be having a project mentality. A project mentality, right? Let's ride. A project mentality is just knowing how to keep up and cope and adjust to any bump, ride, trials or tribulations. You understand? So I already see mama, yo, girl, you better write a book. And she's like, yo, but he just beat me up. He blackened my eye and I got to go to the show tomorrow. Girl, you better put some makeup on it and write a book. You know what I mean? And then, but mom, he stopped me out in the hotel and treated me like a dog. Girl, you better go on back in that room and write a book. You know what I mean? And then now she goes, she say, look, I'm writing a book. You know what I mean? I want X amount. Diddy said, what? Now Diddy's pissed off. Diddy's pissed off that she even came to him and talked about she writing a book. When what did he want to really say to her from a street point of view is, girl, don't you know how good your head is and how good it looked to watch you getting screwed in after you done me screwing you after they done screwed you or we had this crazy freak off? I would have gave you the 20 million. Why would you disrespect what we got to talk about? You want to sue me much as you asked for 30 million and you didn't go on the yacht yet. I would have gave you 20 to go on the yacht. I would have gave you 10 when you left and I would have gave you another 10 to tell him to shut up that I'm going to get you next weekend too. I mean, it's that simple. If I'm saying something y'all don't understand, somebody put it in the comments, let me know, man. The link is on the screen if you're trying to come in and, you know, put me in check. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just giving it to you from a street point of view. You know what I mean? All this sounds coerced, planned. You understand? And the messed up part is that Cassie never in a million years phantom, after she got that 20 million, she jumped for joy. She might have had a freak off with Alex. You know what I mean? But she partied like a rock star. Or should I say she partied like a Diddy star? You know what I mean? So now she done partied after she got the 20 million and said, I'm going to the bank. I'm going to the bank. And then here come the feds. Girl, everything you put in that damn lawsuit was fire. We need you to testify. We're going to charge you as a co-defendant. What do you mean a co-defendant? Girl, did you hear what you said in the lawsuit? We understand that, you know, and he got scared and signed it. But those are criminal acts that you mentioned too, that both you and him committed. Huh? Okay, well, you better take your ass up here and get on this grand jury. And now this is where we at. And then now she's in a trial, and she never in a million years thought when Diddy agreed to settle in less than 24 hours that the feds was coming in. Is this crazy or what? Somebody help me, man. Somebody help me to understand what's going on. You know what? How many likes we got in this? Somebody put on how many likes we got over in the cut. You know what I mean? Because I'm not feeling it. Yo, y'all hit the lights while I hit this intro. All right? Keep it going. 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 Hit that like button. Hit that like button. You know what time it is. We in the club. Make audio. Do what we do. Come on, keep it moving. You already know. Cassie in the house. Diddy, freak off, is popping. Chris Brown, hell with no bell. Hit that like button. All right, see how nice we do that and calm and come back in. Now, right, so this is where I'm at. We have to know how to read things for what they are. Don't take it on social media value, meaning because it's on social media, you're going to run with it like it's the facts. It don't happen that way. 56 likes and I got 700 people in the back. Yo, we need to get these likes up, y'all. Let me let them talk while I get off the screen. Maybe I'm talking too much, and if I'm talking too much and y'all want to hear the commentary, let me know, because maybe that's what it is. I understand why the like button ain't being hit. If I'm talking too much, what I'm saying don't make no sense. If it's too complicated, too hard, too harsh, or whatever it is, put it in the comments. Let me know. If you agree with it, want me to keep talking, put that in the comment. But right now, I'm gonna play the tape, get my black ass off the screen while y'all decide how you want me to run this show, because I'm here for you. All right, let's keep it moving.
So as we were kind of wrapping things up towards the end, right before we went to lunch break, they were kind of starting to get into the breakup and everything that happened in 2018, how Alex Fine was kind of connected to that. And even when we were in the courtroom, Alex Fine had
Let's go, hit that like button, hit that like button.
Moments, because the defense might call him as an impeachment witness to impeach his own wife's testimony later along whenever they get their case and whether they present their witnesses. And so those were kind of the biggest moments and the biggest highlights that
hit that like button
inside that courtroom. As far as just tone today, Diddy was doing how Diddy always does, very much so, kind of quarterbacking his defense, jotting notes down, passing them off, handing them to his attorneys. Estevao, I will say, she just seemed like she was just
hold on, y'all.
A lot of times, something that I don't think is very much translated well onto the transcripts, that a lot of us are just kind of like,
yo, caller, where you calling from?
I'm calling from Detroit.
All right, what you got to say about this, family?
I agree with what you're saying to an extent. My only thing is this: why didn't he just pay her? We wouldn't be here if he would have paid her in the beginning. She cheap.
You want an honest answer from a street?
She sure got way more than 20 million. She cheap.
Hold up. Talk in the phone, because me and you getting ready to go at it right now. I wish you would have had the balls to come on the screen, because you talking crap.
Let's go.
I'm gonna give it to you like it is, right? Let's get it 100. Okay. First of all, he didn't give her the money because she was threatening to write a book. When you threaten a man, the first thing he do is stand up and stick his chest out and his nuts up. And that's all Diddy did. Hold on, let me finish. So now she threatening to write a book when he's like, 20 million, 30 million? Like you just said yourself. Diddy say you cheap. How you gonna threaten me about 30 million? You could have got that. We could have went on a job. We could have did a couple of freak offs and I would have gave you that for 2 days.
That could have been a good weekend.
Exactly. Diddy would have paid for that.
But the thing is, if he would have done that early on, we wouldn't be here.
No, but the thing is, I know, but sis, you're right, but it's his ego. His ego kicked in when she threatened him.
It costs.
No, and that's why we as men is not supposed to be governed by our prides and ego, because it'll lead us astray. You understand?
Pride comes before fall.
There you go. Hold on, let me take this next caller. Good looking, sis. All right, y'all. Yeah, where you calling from? You know you're being recorded. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, calling from New Jersey, man.
All right, what up, family?
Yeah, what's up, Nick? That's what I'm thinking about. The girl signed the NDA, right? Now, is it or is it not possible for Diddy to sue her for breaching the NDA and get his money back?
Right now, that he got way more problem worried about that damn NDA. He's trying to get out this life sentence. But you're right. But believe me, that's the last thing on his damn mind. And, if y'all want to respond to that, you respond to that. You know what I mean? I mean, right now, all that NDA and all that, you think he worried about that little 30 million that he would have gave her to choke him on and suck him on for a weekend on the yacht anyway? He laughing at her. Like that caller just said she was right. She went out cheap.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Talking to my wife about that, man. All right, man.
All right.
I enjoyed the show, man. Appreciate you.
All right, thank you, fam. We got to keep it 100 here, Unique Mecca Audio, man. But if y'all don't understand it was a money grab, Mama put little Cassie in a position to do what she needed to do. She was doing good. He promised her a career. Mama said good, so Mama had all the right things in motion for her, all from the right place. But then when Diddy started liking it after 2 years, Diddy kissed her. She wrote the text, told about, oh, after the kiss, I felt butterflies and I'm ready to start a freak off. We need to get these likes up. 87 motherfucking likes with this good content y'all getting, with this good quality content. And again, thanks to the people that donated to the Cash App. All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, relax. We know, hit the like button. Now we're going to give you the phone number. So if you want to come in, we can hear y'all tell me that my old ass stuck in time, or what they call that? When you're stuck in prison, what they call that? I even had a couple of clowns tell me that. I'm doing better than them, and they telling me that I'm institutionalized. They telling a man that came out and created his own lane, created a business, and took this YouTube to a shiny program like this, when they still sitting there with plain backgrounds looking stupid. You know what I mean? And they telling me that I'm institutionalized. Well, I'm glad to be institutionalized because I'm making it all the way to the top, baby. Let's keep it moving. All right? Put the they got a number on the screen you want to call in, man, because I know I might be talking gibberish. I could be wrong. Where I'm standing, I'm right. Where you sitting or standing, I'm probably wrong from where you at, and that's understood. That's where you could say that you could agree to disagree. Like I could agree that I'm right and you's a dumb mother, and you don't know what the hell you're talking about, and you feel the same way about me, but that don't mean we got to go to blows or pull our guns out. So for you young brothers and sisters out there getting mad like the 14-year-old that shot the 16-year-old in the Bronx and all that, we don't need to do that when we get angry. We could agree to disagree, man. If you get so angry, if you feel like me, I'm gonna take you on a ride. Y'all don't mind me taking you on a ride, do you? I'm talking to somebody on the phone, right? And I'm talking to them. They pissing me off. So they say something real slick out their mouth. So I let them know, y'all, I'm not even gonna respond to that because they're not here in front of me, so I can't do nothing about it. And I don't play the word game and the back and forth and all that. You understand? So that's where we at. So I hung the phone up. You know, I said, yo, I'm out of here, fam. And walked away from the situation. They got mad because I hung up on them. I guess they figured I was supposed to sit there and play a bitch and argue. Yo, where you calling from? What's your name? And you're being recorded.
Mr. Unique, are you live right now?
Yeah, we live right now. We live right now.
I call you back. I'm gonna cash that, but I need to talk to you. But I'm gonna call back when you're not live. I'm sorry, sir.
All right, family. Make sure you send the Cash App. You hit the logo and the icon that says it was created in 2020. All right.
Okay, yes, sir. I'm gonna go on it right now and send it right now.
All right. See, that's people that respect the game. The game's supposed to be sold, not told. Turn your TV down. Where you calling from? You're being recorded. What's your name? Give me the whole rundown. Get them lights up.
Yeah, Unique, bro. I'm calling from New Orleans, Louisiana, bro.
All right, shout out.
Mm-hmm. Check this out, homie. And I'm gonna be straight up with you.
Be straight up.
Cassie, this a young girl lost, bro. A lot of these little young girls out here doing way worse than what Diddy did to her. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm.
You got to look at it from this point of view. They tripping on Cassie, but a lot of them taking trips to Dubai. You know what the prince do over there for who be here in the streets.
Mm.
You feel what I'm saying? So everybody else here trying to play victim right now. It's just a money grab, dog. Come on, man. They trying to take that man now. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm.
It don't have nothing to do with Cassie. It's all about what it is. Diablo, the little liquor company. That's all it is. You know, from what I'm getting from the case, she's doing a little with it.
Yeah.
They made the case, and she landed up there, you feel what I'm saying, breaking the case. Because she don't sound like she landed up there being no help to the government. You know, and I'm going to leave it like that, bro. Have a blessed day, man.
All right, good looking, family. Hey, yo, who else feel that way about it? Put it in the comment. Let's see where you at. Put it in the comment. But that's what I'm saying. You know, if you're from the street, you can see you can see a spot on your nose. You know what I mean? If you're not from the street, you believe that the spot on your nose don't exist. If someone tell you it don't exist, that the spot is on your back and it's not bothering you and no one could see it. But it's right there on your face. But that's where we at, man. Let's keep this thing moving.
You know, and this is no offense to her. I don't know what it's like to be a criminal defense attorney. I don't know what it's like to do those types of questioning, but I think a lot of us were kind of wondering, why is she the one doing the cross-examination as opposed to maybe Tenny Garagos or even Nicole Westmoreland or Alexandra Shapiro, because she just seemed a little all over the place where she didn't know where to take the questions next. She had to kind of, again, confer with Mark Agnifilo or Tenny Garagos about where the questioning would come from. So it was a little interesting to see her.
All right, stop. You know what I hear from that, from where I'm at? All right, there goes somebody that respect the game. Hold up, right? You know, good looking family. You know what I mean? The Cash App is, I'm gonna put it on the screen. I'm gonna put the Cash App on the screen. $ unique Mecca Hall. Hold up. All right. Where you calling from? What's your name? Yeah, what's up?
Hey man, I've been watching this Diddy trial, and I'm gonna give you my take on it. Tell me what you think.
Let's hear it.
That girl got $20 million already.
Yeah.
So why in the hell did she get involved again to try to get more money? That's all it's about. She's trying to get more money.
Nah, I don't think it's about getting more money. I think it's about them threatening to charge her ass as a co-defendant. Let her know you just as guilty for raping those escorts as Diddy is. You know?
Exactly. Yep.
All right.
I think the man's gonna walk myself, but you know, his rep's ruined right now, but he's gonna walk. I'm from North Carolina. This problem.
Listen, it's only the third or fourth day and it already turned into a circus. So we're gonna see how it play out by Monday.
Oh, yeah, like what, 8 more weeks they gonna do this shit?
Yeah. All we hearing is sex. Yo, you know how many bottles of baby oil Johnson & Johnson is selling right now?
Yeah, 1,000
you know?
bottles of baby.
Hey, yo, listen, so many people is listening to this trial and picking up bedroom secrets from this. Yo,
right.
I even picked up one, and I'm gonna try and figure out why. Cassie said that, listen, check it out. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Look, check it out. They said that Diddy used to have her oil up with 4 bottles of baby oil every few minutes, right? I want to find out if it's even better. How much slippery can you get than that?
You can't grab nobody that much on them.
And she ain't but a minute big. She ain't but a minute big. Somebody help me understand it. But you know, we learning all kind of new bedroom secrets that we could try up in here. Maybe we would find a new position. You know what I mean? They might introduce a new position. You know what I mean? The giraffe, what that? The giraffe or the rhino. You know what I mean?
But my thing is, the girl, she could have got out of this situation. If she wanted to get away from this altogether when it very first started, she could have got the fuck away from that man.
Watch the language, yeah. Watch the language, yeah. Got you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Over a year, but don't forget, she had a mom in the ear. Write the book. Don't forget, write the book. You know?
Yep.
You know, come on, man. If he wasn't gonna be the lawsuit, it was gonna be the book. Now it's the lawsuit and the book is coming up next. Do you know what her book is gonna look like when she talk about the experience of testifying at trial while she was 8.5 months pregnant, 2 weeks before the baby is due? You know, which female is not gonna buy that book to see what type of emotional or mental state that she was in 2 weeks before she go to trial? She got to remember all these horrific things and her husband sitting in the courtroom and the world is listening. Man, that's hard.
They made him get up out of leather, didn't they?
Huh?
They made him leave, didn't they?
Yeah, nah, they make him leave. He said, I got to get the hell out of here. I didn't know that she was doing all this. You know what I mean? or I didn't know y'all was going to have a, tell all this because she told me about it. But goddamn, you got to tell in the world.
They said that the text message is from her. She's the one that's been wanting to have the freak off.
Yeah.
But the thing about a woman that I've learned, I don't care if you done slept with that woman for 1,000 times. That 1,001 time, and she tells you no, and you still try to mess with her, that's rape.
Yeah, all day.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
That's rape.
Yeah. But I didn't hear nowhere yet, and they even asked her, at any point, did you say no? Like, when we about the urination, they urinated on her. So they asked her, at any point, did you say no, don't urinate on me? Like, what was wrong with just saying those words?
Right.
You know?
I think he's going to get off of it. But these other, you got Justin Bieber going to testify against him.
Nah, yeah. Yo, if Justin and Bieber testify, it might be a rap. I don't know if they testify, it might be a rap, son. You know?
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, if them two testify that he did that. But I don't think they're going to testify because the government already said, to my knowledge, that they don't have any minors. You know what I mean? And they was minors at the time. So if they was going to testify, they wouldn't say they didn't have any minors. So they not going to testify. So I mean, maybe he didn't do nothing with Justin Bieber and what's his name. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, let's just say he didn't do nothing, but he was just too close and over friendly. He come out of the
closet like in 2016 and said that he was bisexual.
Who did that?
Diddy.
Oh, did he?
Didn't he say that? Yeah, he was like 2016 or something like that.
I don't know. Y'all put it in the comments. Y'all put in the comments, but you don't know how this thing gonna play out, man. But whatever it is, you don't know what no man do behind closed doors, so you can't say he ain't this and he ain't that. You know what I mean? We definitely ain't doing that. I'm just saying that this whole joint sound like one big freak off, like they said. You know what I mean? So somebody help me understand this. You know?
Well, somebody's getting paid, and you know who's getting paid? These lawyers.
Huh?
That's who's getting paid.
The lawyer getting about 15. Listen, the lawyer's getting about $15,000-$20,000 an hour. Hour, and they put in the hour. They can say I worked 32 hours today, and you'd be like, man, it's only 24 hours in a day. Yeah, well, I speed it up a couple. You know what I mean? I got some help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he damn man, and you think he could say no at this time when they say, look, you know you don't pay, you know you on your own, and you know this don't look good. We just smart enough to get the bag. I mean, we believe in you enough to stick with you. You know what I mean?
Well, why do you got to have 8 or 10 lawyers for a case? Why come one lawyer can't do the job?
No, because the prosecutor is not just one prosecutor. He need 8 or 9. If he can afford it, get it. Because they got a lawyer that's like a death penalty lawyer, a lawyer that looks for Brady violations, a lawyer that looks for Jenks violations, and but ain't no regular person can pay for all that.
I didn't know
Diddy appellate
had that
lawyer.
Many kids.
Huh?
I didn't know he had that many kids.
Yeah, he got a lot of kids, and they all seem to love him because they supporting him. So that gets a round of applause. Yeah, excellent father, but most definitely a freak in the bedroom. We see, you know.
Well, anyway, it's a pleasure talking to you. I've been keeping up with this trial. I hope I ain't holding you up on anything.
No, we good, man. I like the way you talk. You sound like you from deep down, from Alabama somewhere. Is the way we look at from New York, but I love the accent. You know what I mean?
North Carolina. I'm North Carolina.
I love the accent. All right, family.
We're like country, I guess you say.
Nah, you ain't country. You just from where you from. You know? Because I know a lot of dudes from North Carolina that's straight gangsters. You know? Yeah, I'm telling you, straight gangsters.
Your channel, man. Your channel is off the chain. I sit here and laugh so much when I watch you. And you say, let's ride, and you squeal them tires.
Oh, yeah, you already know it because I like to ride.
Oh, I like that.
All right.
Squeal them tires, and then you're going to do them gunshots.
What? Oh, he just wanted to hear the drum shots. All right, yo, we out of here, son. All right.
I've been watching prison stories too. It's interesting, man. You got a good channel.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You know what I mean?
All them other channels ain't doing nothing but just copycat.
You know, and
that's all they doing.
And trying to eat people back out when they doing good to put their name in their title to try and get, my 143,000 subscribers. But you won't get me to mention your name. You got to earn yours, man. Y'all was out here longer than me, doing this YouTube longer than me. So don't be mad at me because I don't. Hold up, man. Hold up. I'm glad I got you on the phone, man. You know what I mean? Don't be mad at me because I got my little YouTube plaque and all that. You know what I mean? I earned my plaque. Good, I earned my plaque without eating anybody back out. I don't respond to rat bastards and flip-flop wearing and public trolls that try and use my name to get views. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because that's all they do. I mean, I learned all this. You know what I mean? You first come home.
We got one man that's going to be found not guilty, and I really believe Diddy's going to get out of this. And, but the other man, he gonna be found guilty. That's Shannon Sharp. He's going to be found guilty.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
That girl up before she ever took papers out on him.
Nah, but I mean, that's a white girl, and that's a big black dude. That's a problem.
$25,000 per sheet.
And only want to spend $30,000 for his daughter's wedding.
Yeah. And Monique and Cat Williams both tried to tell the man, get away from them white women.
Now, I ain't going to say that because we ain't on no racist time. We ain't going to say get away from them, but I'm just saying, come on, man. 19 and you 60-something? Come on, man. Stop it. He's 50-something, but he way too old for a 19-year-old girl, whatever color, man. It ain't about the color, but I mean, exactly. You know what I mean? That's it. I got a granddaughter almost 19. You know what I mean? Come on, dog.
I've been watching your daughter's channel, too. It's good also.
Oh, yeah, Juanita Mecca Audio. Yeah, definitely check in with her. All right, because she speak about what it's like, growing up without me out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, when he was locked up. Yeah.
All right. So y'all, let me get back to this. All right, and we're gonna put the number up there. Let's get the callers. All right, let's go. Let's keep it moving.
Do this cross-examination because it's from our perspective, working in the press, it seemed all over the place, but no idea kind of how the jury was interpreting just all of this information.
And we're trying to make sense of it too. I mean, I think with the treatment, I wonder if the goal is to say, well, were your memories manipulated in any way? Were they affected in any way about what might have happened? I mean, it was right before you filed the lawsuit. Very interesting timing. Listen, Elizabeth, I know it's right.
And bottom line, if Cassie was going to keep it real, Cassie would say, yeah, was my memory this, was my memory that. I was high as hell, freaking off. Of course my memory's messed up. I was in another place. But I got $20 million. And I'm still going to drop that book Mama told me to write. So I'm good. All right, let's keep it moving.
Raining. I know you have to jump back into that courtroom. Thank you so much for your in-depth reporting, as always, giving us a detailed play-by-play analysis and breakdown of what's happening in there. Elizabeth, really appreciate it, as always.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jesse.
You got it. Okay, so we're going to continue the conversation with Mina and Ben once again. Mina, you heard what Elizabeth had to say. It felt, from her perspective, a layperson's perspective, a little disjointed what the questioning is. Ben and I are attorneys. We're trying to figure it out, how they're making the legal arguments. I think I'm getting a sense of where they're going. But what do you think? Is it a little too disjointed?
They're fishing. They're fishing. They're trying to maybe say maybe she had a sex addiction and, or maybe this is the drug's fault, and I think you're right about it's going to come down to closing arguments, right? How do they make sense of everything that we're hearing? Are they going to say that, this was infused by drug abuse and drug use? Are they going to try to use that? Or are they going to say that they were both sex addicts? They have to blame someone, right? The defense has to blame someone other than Diddy or provide an explanation for why these things happen. So they're fishing to try to do that, it seems to me.
We got a question for you, Ben. This is Lisa G. You know me. Actually, I do know a Lisa G. I don't know if she's saying that to me. Well, Lisa G. You know me. I think I know. Can someone help me understand, does Miss Ventura settling for a reported $20 million lawsuit impact her credibility in the court's eyes? I mean, Ben, the lawsuit that she filed did come up during her questioning.
Yes, I think it's a great question, and I think it might influence the jurors. On the other hand, if I were the government, I would argue that the fact that civil lawsuit is settled actually takes away any incentive for her to make it seem worse.
So we have
And if I was Diddy's lawyer, I would argue that she got the bag and she's sitting on the stand right now because if she wouldn't be testifying in the manner that she's testifying in, she would be sitting next to the defendant. She got the 20 mil. She thought she was home scot-free, and she got busted by the feds and brought in to be the key witness in the Diddy fiasco. All right? Y'all agree with that or not? Put in the comment. You ain't got to agree with me. I'm going to tell you where I'm at, and I'll respond from a street point of view.
more super chat questions coming in. Ever Rios, thank you so much, Ever Rios. Hello, is this the same judge who denied bond? Well, there were multiple judges who ended up denying Sean Combs bond, and I believe Subramanian was the, I mean, it was 2 or 3. I forgot. It was 3, right? It was 3 judges, right? And they actually abandoned the effort at one point. You know, they could have actually fought it even higher. They could have appealed it even higher, and I think they cut the losses. They said we need to focus more on the defense moving forward to trial. We have a question from, again, a super chat question from RegHand43. Thank you so much for the contribution. Will the prosecution team subpoena or get celebrity mogul Jay-Z on the witness stand to cross-examine? Mina, I'm going to start with you and then I'll move on to Ben.
Yeah, that's it is.
First of all, if you know anything about Jay-Z recently and his acumen when it comes to attorneys, I think it would be very difficult. Jay is lawyered up. basically. And I don't see his relevance, right? We haven't heard about him being involved in this at all. Social media is running rampant with allegations and speculation about who were at these freak offs, who participated, who else aided and knew what was going on. But he hasn't come up. And I think even if he does come up, which I don't think he's going to come up, Jay is so well versed that I'm pretty sure he will never see that courthouse.
And by the way, you're referring to, of course, the fact that he was accused in a very public lawsuit.
The link is in the bio. If anybody want to come up, I'm gonna drop the link again right now. The link is in the bio.
Dropped, arguably because the allegations against him.
Well, my bad. The
debunked,
comments.
Debunked by
Link is in the
not only
comments. Link is in the
NBC, but
comments.
also Jay-Z's attorneys, or seemingly debunked, I should say. Now, Ben, I'll throw it to you. Jay-Z, we're going to see him at this trial?
No, and I agree with Mina. If I could for a second, I wanted to go back to her point about fishing. Fishing is not something, as you know, Jesse, you want to do on cross-examination. It goes back to the old adage, never ask a question to which you don't know the answer, because you can get many bad surprises on cross. What they should be doing on cross is to be extremely organized, make their points succinctly, and stop.
Yeah, and I wonder if that might be affecting things. Ben, I'll just stick with you. We got a question from BK. If Cassie's testimonial is only classified as domestic violence, who can bring and help prove the racketeering? So if I could just tweak that question a bit, do you think that her testimony so far has helped with the overall racketeering conspiracy charge, Ben? And if not, who does the prosecution need to bring to prove it?
I don't think that they've established any of the technical aspects at all yet. I think this is all about poisoning the jury's mind about Diddy, which probably was done by the video. I'm not sure who the government has, but as Mina said, the government is going to have its ducks in a row, and they're going to have witnesses who can, at least on their face, satisfy the elements.
I'll just push back and say, I think that there is a little bit that they're making. So when she testified about, he has these security guards, he has these assistants who are constantly checking up on her, who are cleaning up after the freak off. So if you're talking about a criminal enterprise and him having a team of people and conspiracy, multiple people working together, I can kind of see how that testimony helps. If she's talking about underlying predicate crimes to prove racketeering, allegedly blowing up Kid Cudi's car, arson, right? You're talking about her doing drugs, drug trafficking. She's talking about being sexually abused, sex trafficking. So I think that there are elements that are, I don't think it's crystallized. I think I'm doing mental gymnastics here myself to try to make sense of it. It'll be up to the prosecution to do. Okay, here we got a great question. Okay, this is for you, Mina. This is an interesting one. Bobby Heath. Jesse is the very best at doing sidebar. First of all, thank you. I'm not making this up, by the way. These are the actual compliments that are on here, so I appreciate it. A question I have, if this is the question, a question I have is, if Cassie wasn't 9 months pregnant, would they put her on the stand last to finish strong? What do you think, Mina?
I don't think so. I think that video is so powerful. They have to establish the violence that Diddy is capable of, and then the supporting witnesses will fill in the blanks, right? Also, you have to establish the racketeering part of it and the organized crime part of it. And I think it was really strategic how they started with the bodyguard, the intercontinental bodyguard, in where the bodyguard said, I went there and he threw money at me, and he bought the tape for $50,000 or something like that. And you have to really establish that there's a cover-up, right? A cover-up that's trying that they're trying to really hide what they're doing. And I think you needed to see it so they can fill in the blanks after that.
Question for you, Ben, from Daniela 3984. Please keep them coming in. We got a lot of questions coming in right now. But can new witnesses, Ben, added by the state attorney, prosecutor, or would it be possible for the judge not to allow new witnesses? That's a good question, a trial question about how much you can add new witnesses during the course of the trial.
Yes, it's a great question. It's a great question, and usually there are deadlines for that, but both sides can also bring in rebuttal witnesses who have not been identified by either side. So there usually are some new witnesses at trial.
We have, excuse me, joking here. Got a question from Lisa Morales. Are we going to see Justin Bieber on the stand? Very funny you should say that, Lisa. No, I don't think we're going to see Justin Bieber on the stand, particularly he came out today, Mina, right, and said that he is not a victim of Sean Combs. So, by the way, we are going to do a sidebar on that. It's going to come out tonight. So I'm actually going to record it right after this. But Mina, no, right?
No, he's already put that to rest. That rumor has been running around on social media as well. In fact, social media started pulling up everyone who Diddy has been associated with. Since they were young, Justin Bieber, Usher. I think his attorney made a good point saying, mentioning Justin really takes away from some of the actual victims here, and that we need to focus on those victims. So no, I don't think Justin Bieber is going to be showing up here.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think this is a misnomer and maybe a disappointment for people who thought this was going to be a celebrity-filled trial. Big names are going to be.
That's the way the social media promoted it, right or wrong. Man, everybody hated Diddy. Now I'm seeing free Diddy joints. Come on, man. Big shout out to Chalucci. Chalucci, the first one to sit out there and publicly say free Diddy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make sure I get my free Diddy hat from him. You know what I mean? Because this is getting crazy. It's looking like a real circus. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Let's keep it moving.
Accused. That's not what this is. This is a very particular case with very particular witnesses. Having said that, there is reports that Dawn Richard is going to take the stand after Cassie Ventura. By the way, you mentioned one of our viewers kindly mentioned sidebar. I want to just say something real quick.
Hey, y'all, check it out, Rob. What do y'all really think about this trial? I want y'all to put it in the comments and let me know what you think about this trial and how you think this is moving. Do you think that any of this that we've been hearing so far has to do with the RICO? Or do you feel disgusted after hearing some of the things that you've heard at this trial? Because this seems more like a smear campaign, you know, than anything else. And that's what's a shame. I heard somebody say yesterday while I was at the Row House. I heard these people out there arguing, and they were like, yo, ain't no female gonna get with Diddy after all that. He done gave Cassie sores all in the mouth and da-da-da-da, you know? And then the girls was like, why not? What, you want a sore in your mouth? And they're like, nah, but he got the bag. So you gonna gamble on getting a sore in your mouth to get the bag? And they're like, yo, he got the bag. And I'm like, yo, do you know how disgusting it is to be peed on? And you know what they said. What? He got the bag, you know? So, I mean, this is what it is, man. Let's see some of these questions before I tap out. The phone number is on the screen. Y'all seen it, 678, whatever. That's the number right there if you want to call in and get the comments going. You know what I mean? Diddy got too much blood on his hands. Well, Dre Day, I've been gone 26 years. Could you please tell me in the comment or come up or call in the phone what blood he has on his hands, in your opinion? Because I mean, I wasn't here. You know what I mean? So I would like to know. All right, let's go. And that's the number. All right. So you can call in and let me hear this blood on his hands, because everybody's saying all this about Diddy. And then now we have a trial and we don't see none of the evidence supporting none of that, but we still got that. Where do we go from here? Welcome to the new world of social media. You know, same woman really like to be, someone would like to be documented, dominated to get off. Yeah, you already know that. Like I said, I think Charleston White said it best, man. We all got an aunt and uncle whoop each other ass at family picnic and then go in the bathroom and make love for about 30 minutes and come out. She catered to him, getting him his hot dogs and hamburgers and putting the mustard and relish on it after he done dogged her out from the back. But, you know, they couldn't get it up without that fight in public. I mean, that's just the aunties and uncles. You know what I mean? They charged him with the Racist Man Act. Yep, we already know. I don't want to get in the racist comment. That gets a little too deep. Did he do it? Done it. 136 likes. We need to get them likes up. Real question. Saw that one. What did he say? He said, I wouldn't even want to watch somebody getting peed on. Word. That's some sick stuff, right? And then the dude gonna ask her, why didn't you just say no? Why didn't you just say no? Good question. They get a link to come in. All right. Why you didn't just say no? We'll make sure everybody comment is shown. You know what I mean? All right. Let's go. Okay. Manipulated memory of paychecks. I saw God and he told me Diddy makes streets of gold. Instead, it was P, but he couldn't leave when sober. Oh, man, that's crazy. Y'all, been on here long enough. Make sure y'all checking my daughter's YouTube channel, Juanita Mecca Audio. I appreciate y'all for coming. Thank you for everything, and we already know this circus is a trial, and make sure you subscribe at Unique Mecca Audio Prison Stories as well. All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block. Did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca Audio. Mecca what? Mecca Audio. Mecca what? Mecca Audio. Mecca what? Mecca Audio. Mecca what? Mecca Audio. And we gon' do it like we gon' do it like we keep it moving like we gotta do it like Get it live like 2 G's in the night. Drop top beamer so shine. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in uptown. Baby horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours, so we can give back to the. Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.